called for Chicago. So Chicago ends up going with the new group. And then for Cleveland, Fry comes in for Tristan Thompson. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Smith. Irving against Brooks for three. And James pulls it down. And here are the Cavaliers. They're on an 18-5 run here.
And for Kyrie Irving, it had been a long time coming. Last season, he finally played in his first postseason with the Cavs. And up until the unfortunate injury, he certainly made the most of it.
And that one falls for Irving. And think again about the playoffs last year, Clark. They weren't all sunshine and roses for Irving. He had to play through a tough leg injury in the conference semifinals. And, of course, the injury in the finals, the fractured kneecap, and he was gone.
Yeah, that was really painful to watch, seeing him go out for the rest of the playoffs with that fractured kneecap. A freak injury, but he'll grow from it and be better.
And he makes the first but misses the second. Well, what a season for Kyrie Irving last year. Huge moments for him. A 57-point outburst against San Antonio. That was a new franchise record for the Cavs.
I think a lot of it was finally being able to play with other All-Stars, quite honestly, Kevin. But you can't discount the work Irving put into the offseason to be ready for the regular season. Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
It always is, and it has been so far, and they've gotten a nice edge on the glass.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
It really is. 5 out of 6 of their last field goals have come from the paint. And for Irving, he did come into last year hot. I mean, he won the MVP in international play while with Team USA.
And here's Irving following the three-pointer by Aaron Brooks. There's Mozgov, and there's a nice one-handed slam.
And it's like raining buckets right now. I wonder if this is the early stages of a blowout.
Well, we've got to be careful. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves just yet. But it has been pretty ugly so far, no doubt about that.
Now here's Brooks, and misses it off the right side of the rim.
And for Kyrie, taking home the MVP in a Team USA tourney like that, it's a huge ego boost. I mean, of all the stars on that team, he shined the brightest, and I think that's going to help his confidence for this year.
Here's Moore. Fires for three. Noah kicks to Mirotic. Good, and a nice assist from Noah. Mirotic has got it back down to within single digits for the Bulls. James outside. And the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. Offense, the order of the day as the first quarter comes to a close. Cavaliers lead by 9. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this. And Pau Gasol, after some great years and some difficult years, talks about now his newfound excitement playing with the Chicago Bulls.
I mean, I think it's been noticeable just because this has been my decision too. And I want to make it good, great actually, not good, but great.
I think you'd have to say that Gasol's decision to go to Chicago, Clark, was great. He clearly gave it a lot of thought. It's hard to imagine him having made a better pick.
You know, I agree. Not only is he happy, but so are his teammates, Ask Rose and Noah and Butler. Those guys love playing with him, and you can see how the change of scenery rejuvenated the big Spaniard, too.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start the second quarter. And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Cavaliers.
Fellas, they're passing the ball the way you're supposed to here in this first half.
Something else they've been able to do so far tonight is earn those tough points in the paint.
Portis is out there with Pau Gasol. Then there's Jimmy Butler. Then it's Rose, and it's Holiday in at the 2-guard spot. That's the Bulls 5 as we get into the second quarter.
I tell you what, he has quite the act to follow, but Fred Hoiberg was a quick choice for the Brass in Chicago. Signed that 5-year deal over the summer, was easily one of the most in-demand coaches available.
Smith kicks to Shumpert. It's good, the assist that time from Smith. And now it's a 10-point Cleveland lead.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
Outside Rose. Kicks it to Butler. From deep. Butler missing again.
You've got to give them a lot of credit for the job they've done on the backboard.
They've done a lot of things well today, but really it's about what they've done on the backboard that's at the top of that list.
Well, it looks like he's cooled down a bit after hitting those 2 in the first quarter. Boy, there was no hand in his face right there. I thought for sure he was going to knock that down.
Shumpert gets a wide open look, and there's another one for the Cavaliers.
And this is an important game for him. I mean, he's back in his hometown. I think he could be a factor. He's around friends and family. You're getting that good home cooking as well. That usually comes with that. And I think when you're playing against any team, and even though you're on the road like this, it's not really a normal road game per se. I'm expecting to see a solid outing from him tonight.
Chicago making a switch here. Dunleavy's checked in. Outside Rose for the 3. And again, no good by Chicago.
And he has slipped into a funk, Clark. You can see the confidence is shaken.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, he's very much deflated. The basket looks a lot smaller to him at this point, and the only way you can get out of it is to work yourself out of it.
Good.
Boy, they are passing the ball very crisply right now.
They really are, and their last 3 buckets have come by way of an assist. And last season was one where Tristan Thompson transitioned from a starter to a bench role, didn't let the move bother him, and still put up solid numbers off the bench.
Shot is good, and the Cavaliers lead cut down now to just 11 on the bucket from Portis. For Cleveland, they've gone 4 of 7 from the field in this second quarter so far. Timeout is called, first of the game for the Cavaliers. Alfred Thompson, he was great off the bench. You're right, Greg, for the Cavs last year. Even earned some Clark's 6th Man of the Year consideration votes.
And deserved it because of how he played and his impact. He actually had his best year in terms of shooting efficiency. Shot a career-high 55% from the floor.
Taj Gibson's checked in for Portis. Shumpert dishes to Dellavedova. He kicks it to Love. Here's Dellavedova. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Smith against Rose. There's the pass to Holiday. Back to Rose. 3-pointer. Can't get it to go. Smith with the defensive effort.
It's just been a brutal outing for him. He still hasn't managed to make a shot, and the team is struggling because of it.
He's got to be disappointed with himself on that one. He has got to knock those down.
Holiday inside the line, and a miss there with a chance to cut the lead to single digits. Cleveland leading by 11. Pass to Thompson. Rejected by Gasol. And oh, here we go. Dunleavy's got it. The fast break chance. There's the dish to Gibson. Soft touch off the glass.
And you're not going to pass up that kind of look.
Cleveland's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Well, you go back last season, the Cavs had a very slow start to the year. Not surprising. They had a lot of new faces and people they're bringing together. Clark, it didn't look like the powerhouse they would end up being, as we saw.
Well, you know, they were kind of fumbling and bumbling around in the 5th and 6th spots in the East for the first half of the season. Made some changes, though, through trade, and that got them going, I think.
And the Cavaliers will go with a different look here. Mozgov, he's checked in for Thompson. Fry comes in for Kevin Love. LeBron, he's checked in for Shumpert. And Irving subbed in for Matthew Dellavedova. Now here's Brooks. McDermott passes to Brooks. Wants to get it off to Noah and does. And that is good. Here's Irving. 1:30 left to play here in the half. And it's blocked by Mirotic. And stolen by Irving. Now Cleveland moving it up. Irving leading the charge. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. Irving's got his second basket of the night.
And that's sort of been the story here today, hasn't it?
Brooks, that's a two-pointer. The quick look, no good that time.
With the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in control of this game.
And no doubt about it, rebounding is an effort stat, folks. They've been more determined than their opponent thus far.
Jimmy Butler, he's checked in for Chicago. Here's Moore. From outside, off the mark.
There's some good defense for you. I mean, for somebody who's as good at shooting the three as he is, you need a defender who's equally adept at guarding against it. That was well done.
I like that. They obviously put the right guy on him.
Now, here's Butler. 11 points in the game. And the Bulls with another miss.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
And play stops as it looks like they call an over the back here.
Boy, did he go hard to the boards, but clearly went over the back in doing it.
Yeah, kudos for the effort. I always love that kind of effort, but he was just a little overzealous.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Here's Irving. James outside. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two.
McDermott. That's his first personal foul.
He made the only free throw attempt he had earlier in the game.
Taking 2 shots.
Free throw good, LeBron. And both free throws good for LeBron. 6 seconds left in the first half. Right side, Butler. He knocks it down, but wait a minute. The officials are getting together. They may want to review this one. And the teams are going to have to wait before heading to the locker room. They're going to bring out the monitor and see if he got that shot off in time.
And to me, guys, it looks pretty clear-cut on the instant replay. I mean, the ball was out of his hands in time. I think they'll confirm this one pretty quickly.
Well, I can't see how they'd come to any other conclusion. I mean, we have a good look at it on the replay. The clock's still ticking when it left his fingertips.
And they've overturned the call. The replay was conclusive, and that one's going to count.
And, Kevin, an example of why it's good to have replay. I don't know what kind of impact it'll have on the final result, but you always want them to get every call right.
And through the first half, a pretty lopsided affair.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. And an exciting time of the year as the first game of the regular season is halfway through. It's Cleveland out on top at halftime. They're leading by 16. Kenny?
What a brilliant, unselfish half of basketball they just played. Their ball.
And that's going to do it for now as the second half is just about to get started. Now back to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. We will see you later.
As we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started.
A good night for Butler. He's got 13 points, and he's drained 3 three-point bombs so far.
Don't stop. Don't hesitate. Keep firing from out there when the shot's falling like this.
The Cavaliers leading by 16.
And injuries once again were a central theme of the Bulls season last year. Losing Rose was one thing, but then having Jimmy Butler lose a lot of time put them in such a tough spot.
So on the floor for Cleveland, J.R. Smith and LeBron at the 2 and 3. Kevin Love out there with Tristan Thompson. And it's Irving in at the point guard position. And Chicago shooting 32% overall right now, not one of their better showings. Butler against Irving. Butler kicks to Dunleavy. 6 to shoot. Beyond the arc. And Butler gets it to go on the assist by Dunleavy. 16 points for Butler. And for the Bulls and injuries, a lot of teams plan for these type of things. There's only so much Clark can do to mitigate losing your starting backcourt.
But I tell you, great respect and admiration for the Bulls for how they fought through the difficulty. I mean, their front court did what they could. The injuries, once again, I thought turned the Bulls from championship contenders to just a playoff team. Physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. That plus 10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, not to mention what it says on the scoreboard. They're really pushing them around. Straight bully ball.
Nothing but money for them to start the half. They've made all 3 of their shot attempts. You know, one of the more impressive things that we know about LeBron James is that he is one of the great leaders in the NBA. His voice carries a lot of weight, and he hasn't been shy about raising his voice on social issues either. Good to see.
And here's Rose outside, and again Chicago no good. Smith right side, the second chance effort, and the foul called on Pau Gasol.
That's his first personal foul.
Matthew Dellavedova has checked in for Cleveland.
Matthew Dellavedova.
Over a minute and a half into the third quarter of action. Here's Thompson. No good. And the Bulls going the other way now. And speaking of LeBron's leadership, trying to will this Cavs team to a title, one of his greatest challenges.
And Kevin, the expectations are just so high. He may have had less talent around him in his first stint in Cleveland, but after winning titles in Miami, anything less seems like a step backwards. Yeah, how about the percentage they're shooting from beyond the arc here in the second half?
Greg, no question about it. They found a nice rhythm from deep.
A nice shot by Gasol.
Defender a little hesitant to offer resistance as he bursts to the hoop.
The Cavaliers leading by 20. Irving dishes to James. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. Love, good, and the assist goes to LeBron. James has got 6 assists now in the game.
Didn't have any problem knocking that one down. Another defensive lapse leading to 2 more.
Now here's Butler. He's got 16. Stripped away. And here we go. Fast break. James has got it.
Dellavedova is really good at finding his teammates.
For Chicago, they've gone 3 of 5 to start the second half, developing a nice rhythm out there. That's a 2 from Butler. Thompson with the rebound.
They've shown effort and aggression in the paint right from the tip. Their rebounding edge is impressive.
And they're giving themselves extra possessions and have taken advantage of it, and that's critical. You can shoot a few lesser percentage if you're getting more opportunities at the rim.
That's short off the rim.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
And the shot is good. That's 12 points for Kyrie Irving.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Cavs were poised to make a huge run last year in the playoffs, swept the Celtics in the first round, but it cost them.
Yeah, and even though they did get that sweep, they lose Kevin Love for the rest of the way, and that put a big hurdle in their quest for the title.
Hey, I like creativity and a circus finish as much as anybody, but you better be sure you got a chance to make it.
LeBron passes to Thompson. The kick out to Irving. Cleveland moving the ball around, and it's Thompson with the jam.
Come on now, young fella. Watch out. You might bring that whole basket down on top of you.
I didn't think he was ever going to let go of the rim.
I tell you what, though, you might as well enjoy the moment. Make it last just a little longer.
They get the rebound. Here's Gasol, and it is flushed down with a nice jam.
And the defense out of position on that possession, which allowed for him to get that offensive board.
Well said. Yes, he did. You're right, Greg. That's a tremendous jam on the putback.
What a great nose for the basketball he has, and such a strong finisher as well. No denying it, injuries were a big part of the storyline in the Cavs postseason. Fortunately, LeBron James was otherworldly after the first round. Took care of the Bulls, then went on to sweep the Hawks to get back to the finals.
So Chicago ends up going with the new group. And then for Cleveland, Mozgov, he's checked in for Thompson. Fry comes in for Kevin Love. And it's Iman Shumpert in for Matthew Dellavedova. The finish. And James throws it down.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
From deep, Brooks. Out of bounds, Bulls ball. Chicago keeps possession. And the Cavaliers making a change here. Smith is checked in. Moore against Shumpert. Pulls it up. And the jumper falls for him. Moore's got his first 2 points of the night.
And for the Cavs last season, their toughest test would be in the finals against the Warriors. Like every other team, they just couldn't handle the Warriors for a full series. A great run to the finals, and surely they'll want to return there this season. And we're seeing the shots start to fall for them now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this has been an extremely efficient second half for them up to this point.
Brooks can't get that one to fall.
He's given them little to nothing at the offensive end. I can't put it any other way.
A nice shot by Irving.
And this collapse we've seen by their interior defense, it's really the reason why they've struggled and are in such a hole.
Brooks from outside. Again, the miss by Brooks. Smith misses there. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Brooks out there with E'Twaun Moore. Then it's McDermott. And it's Holiday in at the 3 slot. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Again, the miss by Brooks.
He's not exactly striping them from deep. He had 1 3-ball in the first half. Still bageled in the second.
It's Brooks on the wing. Moore outside. Here's Portis. It's rebounded by Cleveland.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Took him no time at all on that one. Williams has got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the Cavs. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
They got to find something, you're right. Moore against Jones. Nobody near Williams. And another 3 for Cleveland.
You know, one aspect of their play today that's really been tight and far superior is their passing.
And that kind of flow can be elusive, but the great offenses have it, and that's just what they've shown here tonight.
Now here's Williams. Rebound Brooks.
How about him there, just bodying him up to make him alter the trajectory on that shot?
Definitely some very sound defense played on that trip.
And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for Cleveland.
Fantastic passing. We saw it in the first half, and it's carried over here in the second.
Another thing they've done tonight is work the ball into the paint for plenty of those close-range points. You got to have those.
Taj Gibson's checked in for the Bulls. Tony Snell comes in for E'Twaun Moore. For a franchise that had so much success under his tenure, there was sure a lot of friction with Tom Thibodeau, and the Bulls front office surprised a lot of people, I know, including yourself.
Yeah, you know, it's not something that you see often, a winning coach at odds with his GM and president. With how often their differences came up, though, you knew something was afoot.
And there have been some terrible shot choices here.